Hi, my name is Adam Havrilla and I would like to welcome you back. It is May, it is the month of celebrating all the women in our lives, and today we're going to make this beautiful centerpiece that also creates a to-go bouquet for the special ladies. The first thing we're going to do is create our felt pockets, and what you need for that is 8.5-inch square felt. As you know, we're doing multiple colors of peaches and apricots and ivories for this design. Typically you want to do something that coordinates really well with the flowers. So we have our square, 8.5 inches. I'm going to use a hot glue gun. You can use Elmer's glue, you can use tack glue, pretty much whatever you want to do you can use. I'm using a glue gun just because I have it. A couple things about a glue gun. I always use it over a silicone mat that I do not use for baking anymore. Reason being, it protects the surface and the glue just kind of, when it dries, it just comes right off of there. So super easy, does not damage your surface. Keep a thing of water, you probably will burn yourself. I burn myself more times than not. And our instant reaction is to put it in our mouth. If you have water there, you can just stick your finger in there, it'll be fine. So let's get started. We're going to want to fold it over to create the cup. So we're just going to run a strip of glue. And you can see, I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. There's a little edge here cut off, but that's okay. It's going to be beautiful no matter what it is. So we're going to do a line of glue and just side this up to it. And then we're going to do another strip of glue. And we're just going to fold that over to create the bind. And this is not only for decorative reason, this is also structural. It makes that edge a little bit more stiff so it stays right. The advantage of the hot glue is it dries so quickly, it's instant. If you were going to use Elmer's glue or something like that, it would take a little bit longer. So we're going to get our cups together, and when you finish them all, you will have lots of different versions, lots of different colors of it, right? It's meant to be colorful, super beautiful. So we have those, and let's get our next step. Have our bouquet. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to separate the flowers. If you watched our previous videos, you know we do this. It makes life a little bit easier to know what you have. These are gorgeous cremones, aren't they? Those are absolutely stunning. We have some beautiful Ostro, stock flower. Go ahead and clean the foliage off. Gorgeous lily. Carnations. Some more stock. And if your roses come and they have a little bit of a damaged petal, you could go ahead and pop those right off. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with the rose. It just may have gotten bumped in transport. So the rose is still perfect, isn't it? This is called quicksand. It's one of my favorites. All right. Now we have all of our flowers out. That's a lot of flowers in that bouquet, as you see. Our next thing we're going to do is, for my water source, I am just going to use 4.5-inch water tubes. These are floral water tubes. Again, 4.5 inch, that's important. We want the size for those because that'll ensure that the flowers have a good 24 to 48 hours of water in the vial. So we have those already pre-done. And what we're going to want to do is create our pocket flowers. There's two ways you can do this. You could do it just like this in the box and have them all with the point up. I do love the texture and I love the added color of the felt. Or if you wanted to give it a little bit of a fold, you could also do something like this. I think this is cute. It has a little bit of fold on there, and that also looks good. So I don't know what to do. I think I'm gonna do it regular up, and then at the end of the video, I'm gonna fix it, and you'll see a photo of them down so you get an idea of what it looks like both up and down. All of these are the same size, so you're gonna take this. This is the size, this is gonna be our measurement, and we're gonna put the water tube like so. This will tell us how long we want that flower to be. So let's start with our big cremones. I'm gonna take some foliage off, and I want the flower to be just right outside of the felt. We want it to really sit inside of the felt. So put the flower there, see the water tube, it's cut, and we just go ahead and we put this in. See, super cute. And we're gonna do that with all of the flowers that we have. You're gonna wanna make sure, and let me show you a little something. We're gonna wanna make sure, and these will squirt on you, so be careful. You're gonna wanna make sure that the stem goes all the way to the bottom, because if it's up like this and it drinks that water, it's never gonna get that. So just make sure you cut it long enough so it goes to the bottom. And I'm just gonna lay them on top for right now so we could see how many we need. Because we may be able to add a little bit of foliage to some of these. So this is a skinnier flower. You notice it's not open yet. We do know it's gonna open. It's just gonna take a little bit of time, maybe a day or so, it'll pop open. And now that we've cut it shorter, it'll actually open up faster because the water's hitting these flowers and it'll pop them. But we wanna do a little bit more in this sleeve because we don't want it to be empty. So let's take a little piece of the parvifolia. This is actually a eucalyptus. And we can stick that right inside with the Ostromeria. And that will fill that up. I'm going to keep going. And I want to add a little bit more of this. We have 3 more and we have a lot more flowers, so let's add some extras. When I do a rose, I like it to be by itself because I really want it to have all of the water. I want it to be a little bit selfish. So we can always add a second vial into the pocket. So let's add another vial with some mini carnations. That'll be cute. And this is another super fun thing to do with the kids. You know, this month is all about celebrating women. And if you give this out at Mother's Day, and any women, like, you know, you don't have to be a traditional mom, a pet mom, stepmom, a mom adjacent, which means somebody who's like a mom to you. There's so many women that we should be celebrating, actually more than just 1 month. But if you had these and you had a brunch or a dinner or something like that where you're having everybody over, you can have this as the centerpiece and then surprise them when they leave and give each person one of the little pouches of flowers so everybody can take a memory home. It's all about those memories. And make sure that we take the foliage off that's going to go in the water. The reason you do that is because if you don't, it gets bacteria in it. And so we don't want to have bacteria. Is that all of them? Yeah, I guess it is. All right, that's all of them. So now we're just going to go ahead and add some more flowers to some of these. So let's add a carnation to the Ostra one. And I think that's going to be too tall. So we can go like that. Let's add a carnation to this Ostra one. This is exactly why I didn't put them into their pouches earlier, because I really wanted to make sure that we set it up. If they're a little bit harder to get in because of this little knob, you could just peel that back a little bit and it'll make it go into there a little bit easier. Now we have some Ostromeria. Clean off the foliage. And I think I am switching this up. So I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing this. I'm going to take the roses and put them with the cremones because that's a bigger flower, that's a smaller flower. And that way when I put the stock with the rose, it still has the same mass. It still looks just as big. So that is why I'm moving those flowers around. There is a method to the madness. So let's put these with that. And then this one here, we didn't have any extra, so let's put the rest of these, because we don't throw anything away. Let's put these with a little bit of the eucalyptus. And that'll be for that. All of the flowers are now ready to go, and I just have a wood box that I use for multiple things. You can put napkins in there. It's usually on the middle of a table. And we're just going to use this to create our centerpiece. So we just put our flowers into the pouches. How cute is that, right? And we're just going to line them up into our box. And you still want to do assorted, so I don't want to put the roses next to each other. And what I do like the idea of is alternate the peaks. So they're not both going this way. If you alternate them, see how much more interesting that is versus this? You really get to see the different colors and texture. And we're going to put these in. But this will be a beautiful, beautiful centerpiece. And then again, people can take some of these little pouches home with them and have a moment all of their own once they get home. And I love the felt, love the mixing of the color. And again, we'll take a photo of it afterwards with them bent down, with the felt pushed down, so you can get another idea of what that is. And once that Ostromeria opens up, this will be beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? The perfect giveaway, the perfect centerpiece for your event. You know, we got to honor the women in our lives. Without them, we would be nowhere, and we should be grateful. And what a better way than having them all over for a meal and letting them leave with a beautiful bouquet of flowers for themselves. Remember, enjoy the women in your life and celebrate them every day, not just this month. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you next month.